The Quincy player starts out as a human just like everyone else. In the early days of Type Soul, many people would start the game and immediately want to go Quincy, seeing clips of Speed Quincy back when it was in its prime and dominating the meta of Type Soul. Alternatively, it's other people who just really like the Quincy's in the show, such as Uryu and his father, and a lot of the other Quincy cast. Before we get into the next stage, however, a word from today's sponsor. And today's video is sponsored by Call of Dragons. Call of Dragons is a free fantasy and adventure strategy game in which you are the lord or lady of a village trying to unveil the mystery about why dragons have returned to our realm. In this game, you need to protect your homeland from various behemoths, as darkness has taken over the land of Tamaris. There are 8 different behemoths with various different guild versus environment combat instances to overcome. All 8 behemoths have unique attacks and patterns that you need to learn to truly thrive in this game's environment. My personal favorite part of the game is its alliances, which help bring the community together. In fact, I made an alliance called the Order of Reaconteur that you can join by downloading the game in the description and comment section down below right now. Join my guild and download the game Call of Dragons today. And back to the video. Soon after becoming the Quincy, the future Quincy main has developed an understanding of faction racism. Outside of safe areas like Wandenreich, when it's not full of Reaconteurs, the Quincy is often attacked, held, and told to soul ticket now. After facing mass amounts of faction racism, many Quincy players wipe to go Soul Reaper. The few who remain continue on to Stage 3. The Quincy player has started going on the road to Grade 2. The progression starts out very slow due to the fact that Quincy players don't have many, if any, friends, especially not those who have the time or willingness to help them progress as a Quincy. However, as their abilities increase, they begin to progress significantly faster with a big snowball effect. The Quincy player in Stage 4 has started the road to Shrift. Out of all 3 partial modes, compared to Res and Shikai, this is the hardest grind of them all. At Grade 2, you're expected to kill 5 Reaconteur players, 5 Shinigami players, 3 Menos, 3 Edgechests, and 15 Fishbones, all without dying. Getting boosted makes this extremely easy, however, if you're going on this journey solo, it can be one of the most grueling parts of Quincy progression, resulting in the next stage. At Stage 5, the Quincy player has grown to hate. They hate the Type Soul community, they hate Reaconteurs, they hate Shinigami or Soul Reapers, and they hate progressing Shrift and getting attacked by everyone they see just because they're a Quincy. It isn't fair. Why do I get attacked on sight? Is what most Quincy players have circulating through their brains over and over again. They will soon seek revenge. The grind is finally done for now. They've achieved Shrift and Elite Grade. They feel complete but a little bit empty with almost nothing left to do. They've gone through pain and suffering not even the Reaconteurs will experience. Nobody knows the suffering of a Quincy except for Quincy players, and nobody will ever know unless they truly go down the journey and truly experience all 10 stages of a Quincy. The Quincy players begin enacting out vengeance on Soul Reapers and Reaconteurs. After being tortured and ganked mercilessly, they finally have the power to fight back. Every single progressing non-Quincy is not safe from their hand. The Quincy main begins ruining the progression of as many Reaconteurs and Shinigami as they can. They need to understand the pain he went through just because of the faction he chose to progress as. They will understand. The Quincy players become bored of torturing Shinigami and Reaconteurs players at Stage 8. Ruining their progression was fun at first, but it's become longly boring, and now they've lost meaning because nobody knows why they're being attacked. They just assume he's a Quincy, so he's hard-coded to be an asshole, further instilling the hate of Quincy players. The Quincy has just now realized this, and has now realized that the entire cycle is futile and meaningless, and only increases the toxicity of the community this game is built around. People kill Quincy's because Quincy's kill them, and then Quincy's kill people because people kill them. Everyone hates each other because of the toxicity that this community envelops itself in, and it really is pathetic. The Quincy player has found meaning once more. Vollständig or Vollständig, they go on the now much easier grind to get their mode, which will instill meaning into their reasoning to play this game some more. Reaching this point of strength is all they have to do now, so they will do it. Let's. The Quincy player will now grind for Hogyoku fragments to finally complete their build. Many continue on this grind as it's nearly impossible to complete, but it's something to do for them. While they know they may never reach this goal, they can at least try and occupy themselves for the time being. Stage 11 is the secret stage. Actually, it's very easy to access Stage 11 as a Quincy because many people end up reaching it before they even get to Stage 5. This stage is the gambling addict. With many of these shrifts such as Heat being really bad, a lot of people keep re-rolling until they get Fear or Miracle, because those are the only two that really get carried once you get your full mode extended. Quincy players will spend hundreds, thousands of Robux just to get a legendary shrift, and many of them never do, which is why Stage 11 is the gambling addict. Anyway, meat tier list. Steak is one of my favorites and is going into the S tier. It tastes good when done right and is easily one of my favorite protein sources. Next is soy and plant-based sources of protein, such as tofu. F tier. I don't want to eat it. Soy tastes like nothing, and it's cold and wet and has a bad texture. I hate soy. I hate tofu. I don't like it. Get it out of my face. Next is chicken, another S tier. Amazing when prepared well, and unlike steak, doesn't give you cancer or clog your arteries, so it's going to be an S tier easily. Next is fish of all type, which is going into the A tier. When done right, it tastes just as good as any other land animal, and it is one of my favorite things to eat when I don't want chicken or steak. Some people don't like fish. I think you're a pussy, but as a whole, fish is pretty good, so A tier. Next up is pork, which is going into the B tier. When done right, like any other meat, it's very good, but the problem with pork is that most people can't do it right. It usually ends up either too dry or under-seasoned and very non-flavorful, which is why it's going into the B tier. Next up is eggs. B tier as well. They're high in cholesterol, and after eating them for breakfast for like a week straight, I start to hate them. They are a good source of protein and calories in the morning, though. And finally, homeless people. S tier protein source, like 120,000 calories each and 9,000 grams of protein, so it's amazing for bulking. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is actually going to be the final 10 stages video I make ever, probably. I'm not going to do it on Peroxide. I know a lot of people are telling me to do 10 stages of Peroxide factions, but like, it's literally the exact same thing, except on a different Bleach game. The stages are all going to be the same, except maybe a little bit toned down or dramatified. There's going to be zero difference between 10 stages in Peroxide and Type Soul, so I'm not doing that. I think a lot of you need to think about what makes good content and what is literally just a video I've done already, except not different at all because it's on a same type of game. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to subscribe. Have a good day, and goodbye.